What's up, guys? Happy Mental Monday. It's actually Monday. Usually I've been doing these on Sundays recently. Thank you to RUDIS and this fantastic sweatshirt, obviously, for sponsoring us. I'm actually interviewing Olympic gold medalist Brandon Slay in about 15 minutes, so I'm really looking forward to that. That'll come out either later today or tomorrow. I also just did a crypto podcast with a guy named Nicholas Merton. He's Data Dash on YouTube. Man, brilliant. He's only 22. Super smart. And so what I'm going to talk about today is interesting. My wife, Amy, actually just gave me the idea to do this. And it's funny because there's like a whole bunch of things I can talk about related to this topic that just came up. So it's a whole bunch of things came together. And so she said, why don't you do something about testing yourself? Because it's something I talked about a lot. And it's like, sometimes I'll do stupid stuff just to make sure I'm still tough. Because, I'm retired now. I don't have to do too many things to prove my toughness anymore. So like sometimes I'll stay in the steam room as long as I can and get as hot as I can just to make sure I'm still tough enough for it, right? Just to make sure I can still deal with it. And I think there's a certain part of you that has to challenge yourself every once in a while to something like that to make sure that you can still be tough. And so, one thing that two of my athletes did Saturday that I would have recommended so strongly against if we were in any type of real training scenario or they had a tournament or something. But obviously we're in quarantine. There's no tournaments coming up. There's no matches. They decided to run a marathon. Normally, like I said, if we had some real competition come up, I would have said, don't do it. You're going to be sore for a week, but your practices are going to suck. And a whole bunch of reasons why they probably shouldn't do it. But hey, we're in quarantine. Why not? Go for it. So they went and they both did. Jack Gonals, Keegan O'Toole, they did a marathon on Saturday. And just a way to test your toughness. And then, to keep circling into this, what's up, Scott Parnell? I watched this Dan Gable thing, and Flo's doing a Dan Gable film on Friday. he's out there rubbing snow on himself, saying that the Russians ain't got nothing on him. And so one of the things I think to myself, I swear I'm gonna tie all this together. I'm not all over the place. One of the things I'm gonna tie together is, Dan Gable obviously is someone who tests himself very, very frequently, and I always struggle with, well, how often do you actually have to test yourself? And so I think of toughness as a scale, like, maybe, I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, 2-year-old. I'm already talking to my wife about making them tougher. Maybe their toughness will never be tested in their life, but the likelihood is that it will be. And wouldn't I rather want to know that they're tough and they can deal with it, rather than them get there and then they wonder if they can do it? So where I see this a lot with our kids is, when I say our kids, I'm saying the AWA kids that I coach. We really recommend that a lot of them don't cut weight, as youths at all. And so then when it gets to, they're 16, 17, 18, and when they finally decide to, and, cutting weight, it puts you in a really, really, really strange place mentally. It's really challenging. Some of them, they don't know how to handle it, right? Because the first time you go somewhere, you don't know how to handle it. And you kind of panic, and your mind goes to, do I want to quit? Should I quit? And all that stuff. And so obviously, once you've been there a few times, it's not a big deal. Hey, I've been here. I can deal with this. I just need to stay calm and get through it. And you realize how to deal with it. So your mind understands how to operate when the going gets tough. And so I always tell my wife, I think that's an important characteristic to have. Not everyone's always going to need it. You don't even know when you're going to need it. Maybe you're never going to need it. But doing something really tough to understand just how tough you are, I think is such an important skill. So my challenge to you during this quarantine is do something to prove your own toughness to yourself. To nobody else, you don't need to put it on social media. Like, well, Ferguson, he did it. He made weight just to prove he could the other day. He did put it on social media, so he proved it to everybody. You don't have to prove it to everybody. You can just prove it to yourself. Like my two guys who went and ran a marathon. I don't know if they put it on social media. I try to make it a habit of not following high school kids on social media, so I'm not sure if they put it on social media or not. You don't have to put it on social media. You can just do it for yourself, but go do something while you're bored to prove to yourself just how tough you are, because you don't know when you are going to need it. So 10-mile bike ride, that's not far enough. You need to go further than that. And the ultimate one that my wife wanted me to bring up, which There's an old wrestler. I just talked about this on Flow Radio Live. An old wrestler I know, and he loved testing his toughness. He would also run marathons with no training or no practice just to see how tough he was. And he told me when he got older, he said, Ben, the only thing I can do to see how tough I am anymore is see how long I hold my piss. My record is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't ever want to be that tough. That dude is too... I pride myself on being a tough human being, but there is no way on God's green earth I am going to not piss until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That is impossible. I will not be that tough. Okay, that's all I got. Go do something to challenge your toughness over this quarantine because, well, you just don't have anything better to do with yourself. So, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you're enjoying your Monday. I hope you're doing something productive, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.